We're in the process of cleaning out the office, which is next door. As you probably know, we're going to make a big move to England. And in doing that, we're cleaning out a whole bunch of junk and selling most of it on eBay. In fact, all of it on eBay. But what we're selling more than anything else is laptops and cameras. You know, we've been in the training business for years, and we used to drag 30, 40, 50, 60 cameras with us to trainings and 30, 40, 50 laptops with us to trainings, because in those days nobody had a camera, nobody had a laptop, or nobody had editing software. And so we own a ton of these things, and we're selling them like hotcakes on eBay, and they're almost all gone. But the real reason is we're still doing the boot camps, we're still doing the training, and we're going to be doing one at Oxford University this summer. If you want a real intellectual bent to yours, email me and I'll tell you all about it. What we're shooting with in almost all these things now is smartphones. And of course, if you got the iPhone 10 like this one, that's pretty much, we think that's pretty much works for everybody, particularly for people who are doing video just for online. I mean, the thing shoots video, it edits, it puts music, it puts graphics, it's fantastic. It's point and shoot, what you see is what you get, it's great. What was interesting here is, in terms of the phone, is that in cleaning stuff out, you know, you get these boxes where you accumulate stuff in drawers, and I came across my old flip phone, which was interesting. I think it was around 2002. It's a Verizon flip phone, and it was at one time state of the art. What makes it interesting, if you compare it, one or the else, of course, is the screen. Now, there's a button on the side of the phone for photographs if you want to take a picture. Of course, these things didn't do video, and God knows what the resolution was. But which occurred to me is it's the size of the screen. It's astonishing. And look at the size of the screen on this thing. Look at the size of the screen on this thing. It's the size of a postage stamp. But this was cutting-edge technology in 2002, which is not all that long ago in world history. But what is amazing to me is how quickly this thing has transformed. In other words, phones have become so powerful now that, I mean, this looks like, can you imagine we took text messages on this thing? We actually wrote text messages. We looked at photographs on this thing. It's the size of a postage stamp. There's the transformation in terms of the technology of video is mind-boggling, and the greatest driver here is smartphones. I mean, smartphones, whether it's an iPhone or a Galaxy or whatever it is, and they just get better and better and better. In our newsletter today, that's going out today, we actually do a review of Red's Hydrogen One, which is, I mean, it's like $1,200, and it's cutting edge in some ways video for phone. The phone part is immaterial. Probably if you're buying a Hydrogen One, you're not really buying it to make clearer phone calls. And of course, the advent now of 5G is going to completely change the ability to live stream in real time and transmit giant files. And so, to me, the great revolution here is the fact that there are 3 or 3.5 billion smartphones in the world, and everybody who has a smartphone today is in possession of a video camera that shoots at least 4K, that has the ability to edit internally, that puts in music, that puts in graphics, that can live stream, that can share or transmit all over the world. Essentially, what you got in your pocket is the equivalent of a professional broadcast studio and probably a professional broadcast operation if you start live streaming and putting it online. 3.5 billion people with the ability to produce professional broadcast anytime or professional video. That is a radical revolution, because not so long ago, this was state of the art, unless you want to go out and spend a bunch of bucks for they didn't even have 4K cameras then, for what was then a broadcast quality camera. On a quick back of the envelope calculation, I think it's reasonable to say that your smartphone, with the ability, just in terms of the broadcast capabilities, broadcast quality camera, editing suite, graphics, music, live streaming, broadcast, go to air, I think it's not unfair to say that maybe 20 years ago, to buy that equipment would have cost you about $10 million. And today, it's in your pocket for free. That's a remarkable transformation. What is more remarkable to me is that networks haven't really tapped into this thing. There's a treasure trove of not everybody's going to create great video content, but out of the 3.5 billion people who have smartphones and video and this capability in their pockets, I'm willing to guess that there are a couple of hundred or a couple of thousand who are pretty creative and make pretty good stuff, and you never see their stuff anywhere. If you see, I'll give you a perfect example. You see this migrant caravan coming north through Mexico. I don't want to get into politics, but there are 3,000 or 4,000 people there. If you look on TV, they all have smartphones with them. That means they're probably all shooting video. That's 3,000 or 4,000 people, or maybe just 1,000 of them shooting video of their experience. But networks don't air their experience. Networks send a reporter down there with a microphone and they go, how do you feel that? How do you feel that? It's the same stupid thing over and over again. So I think there's a dam that's about to burst here, and we're going to see a complete transformation in who makes the content, who gets to tell their stories. It's a much healthier thing. I mean, J.K. Rowling is not an employee of Random House. She never worked for a major media company. She just sat home and started writing a book, and that's where Harry Potter came from. So my guess is there's a million Harry Potters that are going to be unleashed, not by this, but by the other one. If you find that interesting, check out TheVJ.com, because our whole purpose here is to teach you to be video literate. That's why we're here. See ya.